We know all the things here, Kirk, and we are live on YouTube now as well. Welcome, YouTube family. We're so happy that you're joining us behind the scenes at Live on Purpose Radio, where we have a very special thing going on here today.
Woohoo.
My good friend Kirk Weisler is here in the house. Hey, Kirk.
And Santa.
And Santa on the shirt there, which that's very festive, Kirk. And especially for an evergreen webinar, because you guys might be listening to this whenever, or a podcast. I mean, not we're not doing a webinar today.
No.
There's nothing formal about this. We're just going to have some fun.
I love it. I love it.
Isn't that awesome? So we have two groups joining us, Kirk. We're live streaming to YouTube with Live on Purpose TV. And hello, all you YouTube family for Live on Purpose. And then we also have our membership at Live on Purpose Central. They get to listen in behind the scenes as well. What we're going to do in just a few minutes, everyone, is a podcast episode, and I'll introduce that when we go podcast mode. And we're talking about socks today.
Oh, those are some nice looking socks.
I brought a few.
Okay.
Now, the podcast itself is audio only, so... but all you guys on YouTube and at Live on Purpose Central, you get the visuals. And so we'll be sharing a little bit of that. I'll tell the whole story about where it's going. But Kirk, what we're going to do is there will be a brief pause to give the editors the space that they need to do a clean cut. And then we'll go podcast mode. You'll hear me do all of the administrative stuff, mention the episode number, all that.
Okay.
And then we're off to the races. And we'll just have fun. Now, you guys behind the scenes, just chill. You get to watch as we record the podcast, but stick around afterwards is when the bonus material happens. After we go off the mic, we'll do some bonus material.
We love bonus material.
Does that sound good? And Kirk, some of what you were talking about earlier, I think would be great bonus material because it's very visual.
Okay, so, sounds great.
So we'll get into that. Okay, are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right. I got to find the right page. All right, here it is. I found it. Here we go. Oh, and stay hydrated. All right, now we're ready. This is Live on Purpose Radio, episode 683, Socks on Purpose with Kirk Weisler. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Live on Purpose Radio. This is Dr. Paul, the shrink who expands your life with another episode of Live on Purpose Radio. Joining me today is a good friend of mine. And Kirk, I am so happy to have you in that category. You know, I got to know you first as an author and a speaker and one of those guys that I wanted to be like someday.
Yeah.
And there are certain aspects I'm glad I didn't become like, but there's other ones that I think I'm there now. I'm a fellow speaker and author, and we've had some grand adventures together. For the benefit of you who are listening, Kirk is the author of The Dog Poop Initiative, one of my favorite books ever, and a best-selling book for now a couple of decades.
Isn't that amazing? It's amazing, Dr. Paul, how long we've known each other now. Where's that time gone? It's been a really good couple of decades.
Well, have you noticed that time accelerates as you get older?
Someone keeps telling me that, but I'm slow down.
So we're going to get to the sock part, but let me just give a little bit of a backstory because, and this has been probably, I want to say maybe 6-ish years ago, 5 or 6 years ago, maybe.
Yes.
You invited me to be a guest speaker at one of your corporate events. You were training a leadership team. It was semi-local for me. I mean, within an hour and a half drive from where I live. And you invited me to join this leadership training that you were doing with a company called Auto Leave.
Yep. 10 of their identified future leaders.
Yes. And I gratefully accepted that invitation and came and had a great time with you. And we did some mind bending of
You did some mind bending. It was a lot of
these
fun. That was
leaders. We had fun. And you brought a gift for everyone in that room, including myself, where you had a variety of colorful, fun socks that were laid out on the table, and you invited us all to take any two as long as they didn't match. And at the time, I had a drawer full of plain gray and black and navy socks. They were all matched up. You know, they come out of the laundry, you match them, you put them in the drawer. Boring. Kirk, at the time, my biggest decision when I was getting dressed, when it came to my socks, was, does this clash with my pants?
Yeah, I remember. Listen, I bet you a lot of your listeners remember that phase too.
And many of us might still be in it.
Yeah, that's true.
And wherever you are, you know, we honor your journey. But at the time, Kirk, I was Mr. Boring Socks, and you introduced a new idea to me that maybe we could do even this aspect of our life more intentionally, more on purpose. And I'll come back to this at the end of our conversation today.
Sure.
But you have now launched a whole new sock line called WalkieTalkie Socks. And you guys, we'll put a link in the description. Just remember, liveonpurposeradio.com, the name of the podcast, liveonpurposeradio.com/socks. And you will get right to Kirk's site. And we're even going to offer you a little discount if you use the code Dr. Paul at checkout, DRPAUL, without a space. Now, we'll come back to that, Kirk, because I wanted to open up with this story about, you know, speaking with you. You gave me a sock. I felt like Dobby the house elf. Like
In what way?
You were liberating me by giving me a sock. And if you remember Harry Potter, I mean, there's this whole thing about the house elf is freed if you give him clothing, and he got a sock. And for me, this was very liberating on some other levels. And it got me thinking, and it changed my behavior. That's the part that I wanted to really emphasize. Wow. It changed my behavior permanently. And by permanently, I mean ever since. I don't know what's going to happen in the future, but I don't think I even own a gray sock anymore.
Whoa. So you really stepped away from those grays, huh?
I really stepped away from them, Kirk. I saw no more purpose in it.
So Dr. Paul, I want to hear more about where you're going with this, but just to kind of highlight something there, as influencers, right? As people that are trying to be a positive influence in the world, which is, I'm guessing 100% of your audience, the people that are part of your tribe and community that love you and that you love. And as a professional adult educator, which is, you know, my chosen field, this idea of helping people think or have a revelation or some insight, like, oh, and it changes their behavior, ideally for the positive, for the future. I mean, that's really what we're after. So I hope that you'll now kind of unpack a little bit about this thought process.
Well, so what shifted for me, Kirk, in that leadership training? I wasn't an attendee at the meeting. I was collaborating with you to provide the training.
And you did a great job.
But that was just my specific role for the day. I was there as a learner, just like everyone else was. And you've probably experienced this when you do your trainings, Kirk, that we, as the facilitators, gain every bit as much as the attendees do. And that's why this is the best job on the planet. I mean, it's just so cool.
I agree with that. Yeah, absolutely true.
But here's what shifted for me.
Okay.
This small shift in my morning routine, just putting my socks on.
Right.
Shifted from mechanical and unintentional to purposeful and intentional. And not only that, it's a whole lot more fun. Who who trained me or taught me or educated me that you're supposed to have your socks match and they're supposed to be basically unnoticeable?
Right. And
Well,
not clash.
and not clash with anything, right? But the takeaway for me then was that even small choices
Mm,
done on purpose can bring energy and joy
mm,
into our lives. And if we
mm.
can choose our socks on purpose, what else?
Can we do on purpose? Yeah.
Yeah.
So in so many ways, Dr. Paul, that sock exercise and that was a part of my life, seems like the most natural fit for the core message of your operational philosophy to help people live with more purpose, with a sense of purpose, to live on purpose and have more
Yeah.
purpose in all they do. So it seems like a pretty good match. I don't think either one of us had that thought at the time. It wasn't my intent to, hey, this is but in a similar way, on my own journey, I loved what you said about being a student and that as facilitators, you know, I think we probably both sat next to people also that were the sages on the stages, and they were
Mm,
there to give, not to receive. They like I'm here, right? And I just find that to be less attractive, far less attractive than someone who's on the stage as a major keynoter, but he's got his notebook out over there or her notebook out, and they're aggressively taking notes, right? They're always in growth
yeah.
mode, always in that intention to become more and better people. In my own journey of trying to level up my personal disciplines and my confidence and uh, my personal management. When I
Mhm.
started mismatching my socks, it really became a helpful thing. I don't think I was hyper aware of it at the time, but I love how you said it, right? These little things that we do on purpose can help us live more of our day on purpose.
Yes.
Once we're choosing something and we're choosing it with intention, that spirit of intention stays with us. It carries over. Like every discipline's interlocked with every other discipline. So I don't know that that was any part of my strategic plan, but it's definitely a blessed outcome. And whether it's socks or lots of things, but
Mm.
when we get more like the what's Miracle Mornings by Hal Elrod? Is it?
Oh, yeah. I
Yeah,
think you're right. Hal
right.
Elrod.
Yeah, he says that our mornings are a microcosm of our day, and if our mornings can have more intentions around it, then our day will have more intention around it. And so there's so many things
Yeah.
there. Yeah, there's a lot in what you're sharing, Dr. Paul, for sure.
Well, it's fun. And why not? I believe this more and more the older I get, Kirk. If we're not having fun, we're doing it wrong.
Yeah, I no, I'm on. Yeah, you've got my vote, President.
And you've just always been one of those fun people in my life. Your book, for Pete's sake, is about dog poop. And it's fun and it rhymes and it has a powerful message. And so I enjoyed the fun. Here's where I've gone since then, Kirk, because I tend to overthink things. I'm a psychologist. It's what we do.
It's what you do.
And as I've overthought this one a little and had fun thinking about it, what else? What else has this created for me?
Okay.
And I'd love to explore this with you a little because I think it's healthy for us to rethink
Mm,
traditions
mm,
that may or may not serve us anymore. And I'm not saying we should toss all traditions, but I had a rote tradition of wearing gray socks that matched, right?
mhm.
And when one wore out, I threw away the pair, which doesn't even make sense because they're all gray. But if they're not going to match, they don't.
They work. They work.
These are simply traditions, right? I don't
Yeah.
even know where they started. Some traditions, like matching our socks,
Mm,
are held without question.
mm,
And this is the part that I think is powerful. Even if they don't serve us, we just hold those traditions. We don't even get to the level of questioning them.
right.
And I think that's one reason that we're having this conversation today. I invite everyone now to at least question it.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you should toss it, it may serve you well. But if it doesn't, why would we hang on to it?
There's so much power in inquiry. The whole growth mindset is
Mm.
invites us to kind of question things. But yeah, I love where you're going. I built on that a little bit, the idea of what do I want my focus to be for today? So I think I
Right.
started off with simple affirmations like, what am I going to focus on today? But it was when it got to the community level for me that it really became even more powerful. Before, as I kind
Yeah,
of
say
mentioned
more.
on the website when I tell the story about where this started from, but I just had a bunch of I just had so many socks. I had so many fun socks. But when I started mismatching them, and I said, okay, today I'm going to do this, and I put on a sock, and if it was the Hulk sock, it was going to be about resilience. If it was a sock with a rooster on it, it was going to be about getting up early and getting going, kind of starting my day right, and then kind of staying in my attention. And that was good for me. But when I started sharing with other people, it really leveled up in this way.
Mm,
So there's a picture on and this is what kind of eventually led me to the experience that you talked about I there was some young people at church, so some young men at church, and they're like, "Oh, Brother Wise, what socks you wearing today?" And so I pull up and they go, "Oh," and then I would tell them about it, and they were like, "Cool." Well, then they started wearing mismatched socks, right?
right.
And then they were like, "Hey," and I go, "Oh," and so they would come up and show me their socks. They said, "What are you focused on today?" So they would, and so it just kind of grew until pretty soon we were checking on each other, checking in with each other. And it wasn't some kind of stuffy accountability. It was, where are you at today? What are you focused on today? What are you thinking about today? But it was about feeling seen, feeling known, feeling discovered, people being curious about where you're at, what you were doing. And it was like this automatic light bulb moment where we're just lighting up for each other. And all of a sudden now there's 4 or 5 people standing in the circle over in the lobby, just pulling up their pants to see, to see, and right. And for me as an old guy, I felt much younger and cooler because these young guys were wanting to do this with me. But I was like, this is really, and then it kind of spread. And pretty soon we have pictures with 8, 10, 15, as many as 16 guys that showed up to church wearing different pairs, different mismatched socks. And so we would circle up and try to take it. And I was like, there's something here. And for someone who is, trying to be an influencer and trying to
Yeah.
understand, how do we reach people? How do we get people to surrender the things that are holding them back and lean into the growth phase? I thought, man, I need to unpack this some more. And so that kind of led me to this idea of intentional leadership and the most intentional footwear in the world.
These mental and cultural patterns that we just follow out of habit. It's not necessarily principle. It doesn't necessarily serve us.
No,
What we're talking about here is raising our awareness. And I hope that as you're listening to this today, you're not thinking, oh, Kirk and Paul want me to wear different socks. That's totally up to you.
right.
We're inviting you to simply ask the question,
Yeah.
is there something more intentional I could do about even a small aspect of my life? And it brings up all kinds of things like, oh, what are people going to think of me if I show up to church in different socks?
Right.
Well, we can live out of fear, or we can grab hold of that. And,
Yeah.
like you were sharing, Kirk, it's kind of fun because Vicky and I, in our church volunteer responsibilities right now, we work with the littles, the
Okay.
little children. They're called sunbeams,
Okay. Oh, wow. Age
and
3, 4?
3 and 4 year olds.
Perfect. What a perfect age.
And it's so fun that I'll go in and I'll sit on a chair that's much too small for me. And so my pant legs come up just a little bit and expose my socks.
Right.
But the kids, these little 3 year olds, have learned, oh, we're going to go see what socks he has on today. And I always
Uh,
pick them on purpose to please these littles.
mm,
And they know that they're not going to just check one side. There's
yes.
there's going to be two surprises,
I've,
right?
yes. I have been, I have been amazed at that exact principle of discovery and discussion. And you're talking about 4 year
Yeah.
olds. I'm talking about 45-year olds. For
Yes.
example, this one conference I go to every year, and I've been doing this mismatching assaults for probably 8 or 9 years, maybe nine
You're a
years now.
couple of years ahead of me. Yeah.
So now at this conference, that it's just a thing. So that example that you just gave from your primary class with your kids, the example I gave from my church and from that group of leaders we would talk to, if I bump into any of those guys from Auto Leave that were in that 10-person coaching group, they're still wearing mismatched socks.
Yes.
Mike Dougherty, he's like, he sends me pictures. He sent me a picture over the years of him and his boys in mismatched socks. It was a thing that he took back to his home. It's a simple thing, but it's also a thing that helps people to connect and to feel seen. At this conference, I'll see these people once a year at this conference in Orlando, and there'll be a few of them that walk up and they'll pull their pant legs up and they expect me to do the same. And doggone it, I better have mismatched socks on. I feel like if I don't, I've betrayed some
Oh,
kind of sacred trust. Like I've broken the covenant.
Kirk, I can't imagine how I would feel if I ran into you in person and you were wearing matched gray socks.
I know.
I,
He's a
I just
traitor.
don't know what I would do.
He's a hypocrite. He
It
doesn't
would
really
destroy
look.
my faith in humanity.
No, it's a thing. And I've been impressed and delighted to see what people have done with it on their own, right? They're just like, oh,
Yeah.
cool. And then they take the idea and they grow with it and run with it and have fun with it.
Well, hey, before I turn you loose today, I have to get back to your new venture because not only were you having fun doing this, you have
Mm,
created a sock line. It's called WalkieTalkie Socks. And I mentioned these at the beginning, but
yeah.
you can connect there. You guys just go to liveonpurposeradio.com/socks. And you can even use the discount code Dr. Paul, DRPAUL, without a space, and you'll get a ginormous discount
Uh,
on the wonderful socks. And I brought a few in an audio podcast. It's hard to show things off, but
you hold it up and I'll describe it.
I've picked out a couple. Like there's one. I remember one of the first times I heard you speak, Kirk, and you had a banana on stage with you,
Yes.
and so I had to buy the banana sock, and
Yes.
it's about when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. Do you want to
Yes.
comment about that at all?
No, I was just it was well, again, Dr. Paul, you and I are fascinated. Because we want to be, no, someone told me, said if you want to be a good teacher, you need to be a great student of teaching. You want to be a good leader, you need to be a great student of leadership, right?
Yes.
And so I'm at a conference like you are, and there's a lady up there presenting, and she gives this presentation about dressing for success, your personal image and professional
Mhm.
image. And she's a marvelous presenter. She's got all the right gestures, she's got the look, she's articulate. But I'm looking around the room and I'm like, okay, yeah, but no one in this room is naked. Right? No one in this room is like, I don't know what to wear today. I'm not sure. And then she's at the first day of a 4-day conference in Las Vegas. I mean, I'm thinking, what's the likelihood of any of these people going home and changing their buying and dressing habits because of her presentation is almost zero. And then she
Yeah.
shifts, this master teacher that she shifts and she begins to talk about opening bananas. And she tells this story about her boyfriend down in South America at some banana plantation village where he's building a church for people or whatever he's doing down there. And they feed the missionaries bananas. And her boyfriend's asking, why are the children laughing at me? And she goes, oh, they laugh because you Americans always open your banana from the wrong end. And then she was talking about was the end I use, the stem end. You grab that stem like it's a handle and you use your fingernail and you open the banana from the stem end, which is the way I'd always successfully opened bananas.
So we
But
were
she went on
trained,
this,
taught, and educated.
yeah. So she went on like wearing gray socks. It's the same thing. I never thought about doing it any other way. It never crossed my mind. This works and it works well. It worked for me. And she said, her boyfriend said, well, how do you guys open bananas? And this little child comes over, takes what I call the bottom of the banana,
Which
that
is
little
actually
black
the
circle,
top.
just gives it a little squeeze, and boom, that thing pops open like it was a secret button. It had never occurred to me. But then she tied her whole presentation to this banana. She goes, I'm not trying to find anything wrong with the way you're dressing or spending your money, your professional image. I'm just saying there's another way to look at it and another way to budget for it. Da, 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 da. And she tied her whole presentation to this banana, and I have never forgotten it. So this idea, so that's what the sock is all about. It's about when we change the way we look at things, the things we look at change. And changing the way that we dress, change the way that we get intentional in the morning, changing the way we open bananas, it's all the same. We got to change the way we look at it. And as soon as we do, like, whoa, there's more there than we ever saw before.
I also ordered one of these.
Well, that's your song.
This is this is a positivity path sock. And of course I have to grab one of those, Kirk.
Well, when I was designing these socks with these design guys, Dr. Paul, that sock, you were all on my mind because this live on purpose, the positivity path, all the things that I heard, all the P words I heard from Dr. Paul, I wanted to put on that sock. I wanted them actually on the bottom of the sock for it to say Dr. Paul, but I couldn't get everything done that I wanted. But hopefully in the future we can do a stronger collaboration. But that sock is in honor of our relationship. It truly is, and it truly is. That was going to be my surprise sock to you, and anyway, and now you have it. So there it is.
And I'm so honored that I get to be included in this fun sock line. And one of my favorites is the F-bomb sock.
That one was I started going to men's groups. I went to one year I got invited to speak or be a part of 5 different men's groups. And most all of them shared some common fundamental principles. And they were all F words. They were around the 4 pillars: family, faith, freedom, finance, fitness. And so we try to put those F bombs and take this negative and make it a real positive. So those are the things that can really explode the positivity in your life. Those F's are the ones that count.
You know what's so fun about this? I love your socks, Kirk, because each one has a colorful design, a meaningful message behind it. And it just takes this wearing our socks on purpose to a whole other level, where you can literally walk the talk.
Well, we say we're WalkieTalkieSocks.com, the world's most intentional footwear. So that's our vision. We hope by March to have 60 unique designs, the affirmation series, with different focuses and different stories, and we hope that we'll have 60 powerful designs. That's the goal. And right now we've got 10 designs, 21 by January the 5th should be available for people to purchase and receive. And then we're just going to keep going. And then our next phase is also to make a little bit smaller size. So we want to do a line for teens.
I love it. Kirk, I love you. I am so grateful that you're in my life and that we can have these kinds of conversations and share them with our friends and family all over the place. You guys, WalkieTalkie Socks, and there's a .com for that, but you can get there through liveonpurposeradio.com/socks as well. And go check it out. If you've got somebody on your gift list, and by the way, my kids always know what to get for me.
Dr. Paul, this occurs to me because I'm wearing my Santa shirt. These, for Christmas, these are not stocking stuffers. These are socking stuffers.
Yes. Okay. I'll let you guys play with that in your own mind. I have a warning though, and I have to do this warning because I know we're going to get emails. We're going to get comments. Dr. Paul, I ordered the WalkieTalkie socks and they didn't come in pairs. Yeah, they don't come in pairs. If you want a pair, order quantity 2 of that design. Okay, just a little heads up. I don't want to get the emails about this. If you're not quite as comfortable as Kirk and I are with buying a sock and then putting a different sock on your other foot, you got 2 feet for some reason. You don't have to dress them alike.
So, Dr. Paul, we have a mutual friend named Art Coombs.
Yes,
who is admittedly very OCD. So I sent him, because he was my mentor, he was my boss, he was the first person that put me on stage speaking over 4 years ago. Yes. So I sent him some socks to thank him for his influence in my life. He immediately called me because Kirk, he said, you only sent me one of each of these. I don't have any matching. He can't, I don't think he could physically, emotionally wear mismatching socks, but he was the guy who might send you an email. So I commend Dr. Paul's words. It says clearly on the website, we're selling them one sock at a time, and that's on purpose. And that's how we want you to live your life, with greater intention and purpose. Oh my God.
Absolutely on purpose. So
you're still going to get an email though. You know you will.
We still will. But go have some fun with that. You guys, we've talked about socks on purpose today with my good friend, Kirk Weisler. Thank you, Kirk, for showing up and creating value like you always do. You guys, you've heard it. It's time to apply it. Let's go live on purpose.
Or, as I say, walk your talk.
Okay. Yeah. Well, the podcast is a wrap.
All right.
So, but we've still got our friends here behind the scenes. Kirk,
Okay.
what is bubbling to the top for you as the bonus material that you want to share with our friends here behind the
Okay.
scenes? And you
I
can get
totally
as
okay.
visual as
So
you want
okay,
to,
so
because we're on camera now.
fans and friends of Dr. Paul. Okay, so let's challenge Dr. Paul. So
Oh,
what I thought we'd do is I just grabbed a handful of my socks. So before I created WalkieTalkie Socks,
yeah.
okay, maybe can I just back up? Let's back up.
But here's bonus material, by the way. What are you wearing today, Kirk? I got a chocolate chip cookie on this side, and I've got Christmas lights on this side.
Okay. I can't, I'm at a standing desk. I'm not sure I can. Okay. Now, so
How
just for your
flexible
listeners,
are you, my friend?
here's the quick story. Here's the quick story. So I came back from my very first speaking assignment in Australia, and I'm in the gift store, and I'm like, oh, I've been in Australia. I need something to bring back with me. Now we're talking over 20 years, probably 20 something years, maybe 20 years ago, 18 years ago, whatever it is.
How old are you?
So I'm old. So I'm at the gift store. I buy two things. I buy kangaroo scrotum pouches.
Nice.
This is a seamless leather pouch that some kangaroos sacrifice for, and which my wife immediately threw away. And I brought back some funny socks. And by funny, they weren't really funny. They were 7 different colors of toes and heels, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, each matching pair for each day of the week. Now, at that time, Rebecca and I had 2 children on our way to 6. And when you were a kid, sometimes it was hard to know what to get your dad for Father's Day. Your kids had this problem with you. Well, right. So that your mom would say, well, your dad likes this. And then for the next 10 years, you got a lot of that, whatever that was. And right. So your dad likes crazy socks. Well, I didn't like crazy socks. I was desperate in the gift shop. But for the next 15, 16 years, as the family expanded, Father's Day, Christmas, birthdays, I got socks. So now I've got 350 pairs of socks. And that's about where I started mismatching socks about 8 years ago, and then getting intentional. And then finally going, I need to make my own socks. And that started appearing in my journals. I actually wrote about WalkieTalkieSocks.com in my journals starting about 8 years ago. But I just taught myself, I don't know how to make a sock. I don't know what that is. So that was it. So now that's the backstory. So what I've done is I've reached into my basket of 350 socks, not my socks, just the socks I used to wear and still do wear. Mm-hmm. And I want to hold them up to Dr. Paul. And Dr. Paul, I want you to think, if I held this up, what would your intention be for the day if this was the sock you pulled out of your pocket?
So this is the Dr. Paul challenge for the bonus material here today.
Now, Dr. Paul, also just think about it for 10 seconds so your listeners can go, I know what I would do. Then you share yours and I'll share mine.
Got it.
Okay, so this is a shark.
Yes.
What could an affirmation be for your shark sock?
And this is the skillful pause that allows everyone to come up with their own answer.
Listeners?
Because I got one immediately.
Okay. Okay. Let's go to your immediate thought.
Take a huge bite out of this day.
Oh, I love that.
That's what came to me. Yeah.
Okay. I read that sharks never sleep. They're always in motion. And so to me, that's about a couple of things. One, about the importance of sleep, because I'm not a shark, I need sleep. And also to stay in motion. So there's a couple of different ways I've gone with that sock in the past.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's one.
Which, by the way, there's no right or wrong answers.
No.
Iron Man.
I wish we had that little music. Do, 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 do. Okay, so your behind the scenes viewers that they're getting, okay, here's what I would do the Iron Man sock. What would you, Dr. Paul, do with the Iron Man sock?
I actually have a variety of superhero socks.
Okay.
And usually they carry the same general message for me, and that is to show up as a superhero with my skills, with my knowledge, and just show up and serve and protect, right?
I
And
love
that's
that.
what first came to mind for me. And there are specific things about each superhero that could be incorporated. And maybe some of you were thinking about that too.
I love it.
Yeah.
I don't have a Green Lantern sock, but I have a Green Lantern ring. I really I shared that. I used Green Lantern in one of my presentations. He's not a super popular hero, but I just love the idea of his light needs to be recharged, and it's through the power of
Oh,
his light
yeah.
and creativity. So, but yeah, so with Iron Man and Batman, a lot of times when I wear those socks, those guys don't have superpowers, but they leverage technology to expand their influence and have greater
Right.
impact.
Love it.
Okay. And
Cool.
they have the heart of the hero. Okay, so
Let's do two more.
okay. Huey, Dewey, Louie.
Huey, Dewey, and Louie. And this is where, insert Jeopardy music.
Okay, go ahead. Huey, Dewey, Louie. What we got? Let's do
All
a
right.
couple more quick.
So what that brings up for me is I am part of a set. And this is interesting because I had this thought earlier, Kirk. I am a twin.
Okay.
And guess what? My twin and I never dress alike.
You're
She's a
mismatched
lot
socks.
better looking than me.
You're mismatched
Uh,
socks, you and your twin.
well, yeah, exactly. And I had that thought, you got 2 feet. Why do you have to dress them alike? That'd be like ignoring the fact that you're different from your twin, kind of a thing. Anyway, that thought came up. But Huey, Dewey, and Louie to me is about I'm part of a set, meaning I function in a context. I am in a group. I'm in a team. I
Mm,
have I have my contribution and they have theirs. And
mm.
together we make an awesome set. That's what came to my mind.
I love it. I'd love to hear. Hopefully, they'll get some comments on your post. For me, it was about childlike curiosity. Staying in the play. Okay, I'm going to hold up two at the same time.
Oh, and by the way, you guys, on YouTube, if you're watching on YouTube, put your ideas in the
Yeah.
in the
Okay.
comments.
Here we
We
go.
can totally do that.
We're gonna close with this one. So,
Okay,
Dr.
one
Paul,
more.
you got this morning. You put on these two socks.
Ah, Gumby and Thing 2.
All right. Gumby and Thing Two. You're stepping out with some pride
There you
today.
go. Oh, wow. Yeah.
All right.
So,
What do you got,
so
Dr.
for
Paul?
me, so for me, Gumby represents two things, and that is being flexible and you can every Gumby that I ever had in my life when I was a kid was an eraser. And that just reminds me, go ahead and try it. What if you make a mistake? No problem.
I love it. I love it.
You
I've
got an
never,
eraser built in.
yeah. To me, it's always in my mind being flexible. But a Gumby eraser, what a great thing. Be flexible. You can, yeah. Mistakes don't define who you are. I love that. That's fantastic.
Yeah, that's what
Okay.
came to my mind. And then thing two, there's in the story The Cat in the Hat. That's where this one is from.
Okay.
They can do anything, anything, anything under the sun. Thing two and thing one.
I'm pulling off my socks, by the way. I'm just gonna.
So that you can show us.
Okay, go ahead.
And so that is a reminder to me of the resources that are so abundant around
Mm,
me all the time. The cat in the hat, he didn't know how to clean up this mess. He had no way at all, but thing two and thing one.
okay.
They can do
Okay.
anything under the
Yeah.
sun.
What's
Yeah,
your thing?
that's
Well,
what
yeah,
came to mind.
I usually use it. What's my thing today? And
What's
so
my thing?
it becomes a very open slate. Okay, so I pulled off my
Yeah.
socks. So on my left foot, I've got some bubble yum.
Bubblicious bubblegum.
So Bubblicious and Bubblicious. The reason where I usually go with the sock, is keep things fresh, right? Because this gum's good for about 2.5 minutes.
Yeah, right?
So maybe Kirk shorten up those stories a little bit and don't tell the same ones all the time. And then I'm almost always wearing a Where's Waldo sock. I love
Where's Waldo?
because he's always, it's a search and find. And I think the life is a search and find. I said, look, what are you looking for? Right? Know what you're looking for. You're
Yes.
more likely to find it. I just love and one of my favorite Where's Waldo book is, how on each page you're looking for him, but he's carrying something. Like he's got a stack of books. On the next
Right.
page, he's got one less book. So now you're looking for him and the book he dropped. And what books are you looking
Ah,
at? So I find myself Where's Waldo a lot, but so that's what I'm wearing today. I'm barefoot now, but that's what I was wearing today.
That's what you were wearing just a few moments ago.
Yeah. Well, listen,
Kirk, thank you.
I hope they do some things in the comments. I'd love to see what people do with their socks.
That is some serious bonus material, folks. When you come behind the scenes to Live on Purpose Radio, you get all the bonus material, including the compelling visuals of two relatively crazy guys who never matched their socks.
Dr. Paul, just in reflection, Joe Rogan, maybe one of the most popular podcasts out there.
Yeah.
Just think about all the best podcasts out there.
Mm-hmm.
Huberman, right? Whatever they might be. How many of them have ever shown their socks on their podcast? And I think you may be stepping out in the very first podcast, Sockcast, in the history of the world.
We are breaking some podcast ground here.
Stepping high, stepping new.
Forging forward, clad in socks. Socks on purpose. That's what it's all about here today.
I love it. I love it.
Hey, Kirk, thank you. That's been amazing. And all of you who are joining us behind the scenes, thank you. You honor us with your presence, that you would spend some of your valuable time with us here today. It's not lost on these two slightly crazy guys who always mismatch their socks. We invite you to join us in that community.
Yeah,
awesome. Okay, remember, before we turn you loose, go to liveonpurposeradio.com/socks and enter that special code Dr. Paul, DRPAUL, no dots, no spaces, just a / Dr. Paul, and you'll get a ginormous discount, which is limited to only the holiday time. And so if you get it after that, then, pay full price and go for it. And remember the quantity. You order how many socks you want, not how many pairs, how many socks. And there's some awesome ones.
Pairs are so yesterday.
So yesterday. That's right.